Okay, we're gonna have a little pre-bed chat. I'm pretty tired, but I've had this on my mind for over 24 hours, and so I knew I needed to make a video, and here we are. So something that once I started to really dig deep into a lot of my traumas and places, especially though where I shut myself down, I realized how much saying the word no to invitations is somewhere where I have held some, I guess, potentially some regret in ways. Because also, sorry, I also do believe that I would not be who I am today, the exact version of myself that I am today, and I like this version of me, um, had things gone differently for me, but I have opened my eyes in the last 3 to 4 years about a lot of things, and one thing that I realized was one of the first times that I kind of like blocked myself from, say, like love or like something that I wanted to experience with a person. And it's funny because we were friends, and he kind of like invited me to a few different things, and I just kept saying no because what I know now is anxiety. I didn't know what that was back then. And so I had a lot of anxiety over situations, and especially like if I didn't know the place or the surroundings, maybe the people, it kept me really stuck from experiencing things. And I didn't realize that's what it was back then. But I realize that now. So my anxiety kept me from taking some opportunities and taking chances that I could have, because it's like I liked that guy. And it was like years and years later that I was talking to my friend and her husband about it, and he was like, "Yeah, like it just sounds to me like you kept rejecting him, and if I was his friend, I would have said to him like, man, I would move on if I were you. She's using you or something." And I was like, "Oh my God." Like, um, it was a kind of an eye-opening moment because I didn't realize how I was actually completely rejecting him while while just thinking that I was like protecting myself, because I was like, "Oh my God, I'm scared of going to a movie theater I've never been to." I know, but we all know anxiety can be very real and very, although very real, also very, I guess, just like self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Because I didn't need to be afraid of going to a movie theater I had never been to. But I felt that way, and so I said no. And I never really realized until looking back years later that that's kind of where we stopped communicating very much. And I was like, okay, I actually see that, interestingly enough, probably something would have happened here. But I didn't allow myself to believe that, or I let the voices in my head win, or whatever, like as part of anxiety, right? Um, and so, something that I'm working on, and I challenge you to do it as well if you're also somebody who has held yourself back and blocked yourself from blessings. Try to say yes more often. Like, and I don't mean if some person asks you out and the energy really just like feels wrong to you, I don't mean accept that invitation. But I mean, like, if your friend says, let's go out for a drink, go for it. I also came to realize that as often as I would be anxious about things, by the time I was actually there and in the moment, I was typically having a lot of fun. And so, yeah, the times that I just said no before I even made it to that time when I was having fun, who knows what would have happened those times, right? And so I guess I just realized at some point, I was like, if I were to have any regrets, I guess that would be it, is that there were different circumstances and different situations in my life where I should have said yes. And I should have just allowed myself to be in the moment and experience something for what it was without questioning things, without over analyzing things, without just like beating it to death before it could ever live. Um, because I am an intuitive person, I think I've self sabotaged in my life at times because I can feel maybe when something's going to happen or feel an emotion a person has towards me or something, and but but not often. Um, but I think at times I have allowed myself to be scared by that, and or um, because I'm just a very inquisitive person. It's like instead of me experiencing the thing and answering my questions through experience, I instead was doing it all in my head and expecting the worst and talking myself out of things that could have been good because I didn't maybe have like tangible evidence in the moment, but and then that kept me from moving forward or wanting to put myself out there or whatever, And so I just have had that be sort of a recurring thing, recurring thing for me in the last, I want to say it's been the last year because I moved home last year after being in Alberta for 13 years. And when I got here, I was like, all the times I wished I could be hanging out with my friends here or that I was kind of like thinking that I wish things could be different and whatever else. It's like now they are. And so I try to, and more than just try, I do take action towards seeing people and spending time together. Of course, within guidelines, depending on what's happening globally and um, in our communities. And there are still times that my anxiety is like, I don't want to go. I am afraid. I've never been there before. What if something bad happens? And I've kind of learned to befriend it a little bit and say, I know, I do know that the unknown is scary. But also, some of the best things I've ever experienced have come from just living in the moment and allowing myself to go with the flow. And so yeah, I'm sort of befriending that anxiety and saying, I understand how you feel, but please let's go anyway. And I have been doing that, and I feel really good about it. And I would like you to do the same if that's something you have struggled with, and see how things change in your life when you start being open to opportunities and experiences. And let me know what it does for you, what it changes for you. Um, Lily and I are signing off. Good night.